Go ahead.
All right. So, my name's Sophia. I've already introduced myself a few times, but one of the big reasons I want to do this is because I actually come from a mixed background. My dad is black, and I have very fair skin, obviously. So it's just always something I've been very conscious of. And looking around the school, I sometimes see a lot of separation. And then also, like we said, nationally, there's just a lot of stuff going on. So I think it'd be interesting to get as many different students' views as possible. Hence why you guys are here. So I guess we'll just start off. Everyone just, can you introduce yourself and kind of say your ethnicity? You want to start here?
Okay, I'm Claire Anton, and I'm white.
I'm Keely Sykes, and I'm mixed, so I'm part black and part white.
I'm Amanda. I'm half Mexican and Puerto Rican, and then half white.
I'm Andrea, and I'm Mexican.
I'm Anna, and I'm Chinese American.
I'm Justin, and I'm half Mexican, half white.
I'm Joey. I'm 75% Dutch, 25% Croatian, but 100% American.
I'm Narvel, and I'm black.
And I'm black, and I'm 100% from the Middle East.
All right. So just kind of open this up. How do you feel about race relations at Lake Central? And do you ever feel or see any separation? So whoever wants to start, just kind of open the floor.
I don't know, just to speak from my personal, I haven't been the victim of any, and I don't think I see much. I don't know if there's enough room for it, and like it seems like in all the actually the AP classes are more diverse than I think you would anticipate looking at like the demographics of the region. So I've never seen or been the victim of any like race tension. So I mean I think race relations, in at least my experience, are pretty amicable.
I feel like it's like the opposite for me, because personally I've been called like names before, like racial slurs and stuff like that, and I've had close friends of mine call other people like racial slurs, and it's kind of disheartening to see that go on in our school. And I do see like some separation, because you walk around school and you see like groups that are just strictly like this color, or groups that are strictly like this color. Like, yeah, you might have a different person here and there, but I do feel like it is kind of separated still.
I feel like there's definitely separation around the school, and it depends like where you're coming from and what race and color you are. Some people are more acceptable to like specific races, but some of them are like 100% closed about understanding other people or like feeling them.
I feel that like at Lake Central with all the sports and stuff, there's not really a lot of discrimination, because like when you play sports, everybody's a family, and we don't see each other with color.
And I think the more advanced you get with classes like AP and honor classes, you deal with like more like educated people, and you could like see that less. But then like when you're like in a normal and like regular class, yeah, there's definitely discrimination from my point.
Do you guys feel like in the classroom there's any?
I feel like racial slurs are used a lot around here, which isn't good, and I feel like people just like throw around the words like they're just like nothing, and they don't have any meaning to them or background, which is not good.
Yeah, people seem to think like calling someone the N-word, it's like they say, oh, it's just a word, but like to some people it may just be a word, but to a lot of people, like including me, like it's not just a word. It's part of my history, it's part of my background, it's something that I really like take to heart. And yeah.
How it like might be more prevalent in the classroom than like sports, because like in the classroom, I think you're gonna get mostly people that like are from around the area that are mostly white, and, like haven't had much experience with like other minorities. So like they might throw around like slurs and everything more loosely and not really understand. But like I can speak specifically from like soccer. Like from a young age, you've played with a lot of like foreigners, and like Greeks, Mexicans, Serbians, everyone. So I think like, at least from a soccer perspective, like it's things you've seen your whole life, and so like I wouldn't call it like racial discrimination. Like people just joke around with each other's nationalities, like they're comfortable with it. Like, well, it's just a Greek thing. Like you do that because you're Greek, or you do it because you're whatever Mexican or something. So like I think like the experience like from like a sports perspective, like where there's a lot more like mingling between different races. Like they don't throw it around as loosely. They don't throw it around as flippantly. They throw it around, they know what it means, but they don't throw it around.
Sometimes they joke and like the way they ask questions, like me personally, I don't mind like people asking me questions about my religion, especially that I used to wear the scarf, but I took it off this year because of students. And like I didn't mind, like if you want to know about me, I'm open to it. If you don't want to know about my religion, I would answer. But then like the type of question that they would ask, I would just like feel offended and like just go home and cry. So it just like, I feel like being a minority, like all my friends I have around this school, they're like either Mexican, like half black, half white. Like when you're like a minority, you understand the struggle of other people more than like if you're like I would say 100% white.
So you said you took off your scarf. Were there specific incidents?
Yeah. I had people like, you know, like when you like put the scarf on, like you had to put like needles like to like had them in place. And I had this like girl like come up to me and then she was like, "You don't have feelings?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And then she was like, "Do you like step your head like with these needles?" I was like, "What is this?" And I had people saying that like I don't have any hair, that's why I cover myself. And I had people saying like I am like some like type of like bad girls and like that's why I cover up behind that thing. I had other people like making fun of me when I go to class about like having bombs in my book bag or like I'm gonna bomb the class. I had people like talking like bad things about me. Like I'll be listening and like they think like I don't understand English and I don't understand what they're talking about. So yeah, I had enough last year, so I decided to take it off. And like same people that they used to make fun of me last year, now they actually want to talk to me and they actually want to be my friend. And like it's so weird like to see like the same exact group of people that like they used to make fun of me last year and they used to say a lot about me behind my back. Now like they actually trying to be close to me. I'm the same exact person, only like my look changed.
That's honestly like really disheartening that you had to do that, because that's like a part of your background, and the fact that people would like make these racial jokes towards you, it's just really sad that it goes on, and I've witnessed it too, and I've had it go on in my life, and it's really disappointing to see that our world is still we're just at this point where we can't really, like make a change. And
Yeah, that's what makes it like so divided, is how like close-minded and evil people can be towards people who aren't like that.
Yeah, I feel like people don't really open their minds or hearts or eyes, and they don't really like try to understand people. Like nobody really tried to understand why you were wearing the scarf. And so like I just feel like people need to be more open-minded and need to open their hearts and really like kind of put themselves in other people's shoes and like try to think about what it would be like to be in someone else's, like a minority's place in America today, because with this recent election, like I believe we are like the most divided we've been since, for a while, and I just feel like people need to put themselves in other people's places.
I always felt left out last year when we had to do like projects and like when we had like to do group discussions. You would always like see people trying to walk away from me, or like they would choose like their own group and like they just left me out. And it was like kind of like hard to see it, like you're always left out.
Has anyone else had similar experiences?
I've never been personally affected myself, but it's disheartening when other minorities go against each other. My growing up, I guess, like my grandpa bestowed like super traditional values on like my family, and he actually grew up in Puerto Rico. And when one of my cousins got a boyfriend who was African American, he literally refused to come in the house on Christmas, would not be anywhere in the room with him. And it's sad that together as minorities we can't even come together, and we're still bashing each other and having these traditional, I don't know, we're awful. I don't know why we're like this. I don't know why we can't just come together and just be one,
So I feel like a lot of what people are saying comes down to like people think some things are jokes, but it kind of gets taken to heart. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Personally, my experiences with this, I think when people like ask me like questions about it, like if they have good intentions, I'm okay with answering. But then if people ask me like, what kind of Chinese person are you? Or they'll go like, ching ching chong, I think that's offensive personally. But
Okay, so I know we talked about sports a little bit, but within clubs and like AP honors classes as well as sports, do you ever feel like there's any separation or any groups that are kind of underrepresented, anything like that?
In all of the I guess AP or advanced classes I've ever been in, it's like to be in an advanced or AP class, it's much different from other classes. Like it's almost like you're a little family. Like every year I'm in advanced English, so every year that's always like my favorite class to go to because I love interacting with the people that are in my class. It's like someone, I don't know who it was, but someone said like it does get more like diverse as you like if you go into an advanced class, and I do believe that. I don't really I haven't personally experienced or seen like discrimination in AP or advanced classes. And yeah, I just really enjoy the class because it's almost like we're a family.
Like I said before, the more advanced you get with your classes, the better it gets. That's why even it's hard for me, like AP and honor classes, I push myself so hard to be in these classes because I actually do like the people in these classes. I feel like they're more understandable and they're such nice people, and even the teachers. Yeah, so I always trying to push myself to be in AP and honor classes.
It's almost like I feel like people in those classes have a more open mind. I could be wrong, but everyone I've met in my classes, they're just super cool people, and they agree with me on a lot of the things that I stand for, and with the teachers too. I've always bonded with my advanced English teachers. Recently, one of my teachers passed away, and she was one of the most influential people in my life. She didn't discriminate against me just because of my color, and she was one of the most influential women in my life that I've had so far, and it was very enjoyable for me to be in those classes.
What do you guys think teachers in regular classes could do to stop this discrimination that you talk about?
I think they should maybe pay more attention to what kids are saying, or if they overhear something, they need to say something to the kid who's saying that. But I just feel like they just brush it off and stuff. And again, it's not even just tattletelling on someone. This is a serious issue, and those words hurt people. So they need to be more attentive to it.
Yeah, I think attentive would be the right word because, they're a minority for a reason. I mean, there's not that many, at least in our area. So, oftentimes it might be easy to, brush aside comments as that it's negligible because it's just one person here. They might only see it a couple times because it doesn't mean it's not like a battle royale. It's pretty isolated, at least to the people that it happens to. So yeah, I think attentive is the right thing. You have to point it out when you see it, and I guess you have to at least give them a doctrine to follow because I guess in AP classes I think with there's not a difference in I don't think there's a difference in exposure between AP classes and regular. I don't know. I can't really speak. I've only really class that as business, so I don't know. But I guess it's the level of understanding that people take to everyone in the class. So I think the teacher in the regular class has to instill some type of mindset in those students that might not be present just naturally.
At school, I haven't really had any problems or anything, and any time that a racial comment is made by it's with one of my friends who I'm very comfortable with, and they'll say, oh, something stereotypically white, and to make fun of me, and I'll say something back, and it's we know that we have that camaraderie, but it's not I'm going and saying that to random people that I've never met before, and it's not I'm saying these things in a demeaning way. Like, it's because we both have this understanding. We know that we're not like these stereotypes. So like, it's just kind of a joke, but I guess I have a pretty laid back sense of humor too. So I just like make sure that my friends are comfortable with it, and like, it's not like we're trying to actually tear each other down. Like, we're just joking around.
Like in the classroom, as they were talking before, the teachers don't really seem to pay a lot of attention to the slurs that are thrown around. Sometimes in classrooms, I will hear someone say it so obviously loud. They'll like throw a slur at someone, and the teacher will ignore it. They won't really say anything, and that kind of bothers me sometimes because you don't know if that person could actually take it to heart. Like, even if it is meant as a joke. And around school, I have been teased a little, mainly by friends, but as mentioned before, those are mainly just jokes because, like you mentioned, we know each other and we don't mean it in that way. But for example, now that Trump became president, there have been people who joke around saying, oh, you know, like, Trump's gonna kick you out, or you're gonna get deported. And sometimes it gets annoying to hear because it's like, okay, you've made your point, like, it's not happening.
Since he became a president, a lot of people have been telling him, like, he's gonna send you back, and like, he's gonna kick you back, and like, these people think it's like a joke, but like, especially with these orders that they're, and like that, what he's doing, it's pretty scary when like people like start like, I had my little brother come in from school one day, and like he was like crying his eyes out. Then he was like, oh, they're gonna send me back, especially from like the country that I came from and like what we went through. So like being here is like a big deal of a thing, and it's like something that we're like all of us like happy about. And like all of like the kids from his age like be like saying to him like, yeah, he's gonna send you back. Like even like these little kids like saying to each other that, yeah, he's gonna send you back. Yeah, he's gonna throw you out of your country. Like he's gonna send you back to your country. He's gonna throw you back there. He's gonna like put you in an airplane and like send you back there. And like he was like crying, and he refused to go to school the other day, like the next day. So like I was like, okay, but like why would he send me back and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, since he came president, these comments I hear all the time, and it's not from people that are like even friends with me. They're like random people around the school.
So how do you feel about race relations at a national level? You kind of touched on this, but it's more.
It's at a very bad point right now, like, and I think we can all probably agree about that. Like, it's just, we're so incredibly divided right now.
I feel like we're younger and we all like the same things and listen to the same music, and we all got the same culture, so it's not really like racism amongst the youth. I think it's more of older people who are still stuck in those evil ways.
So how do you think we as LC students can help our peers when all these things are going on?
Maybe if we understand them and like understand the background they're coming from, maybe if we have like an open mind of what they went through, and we need to understand that they went through enough to be here, and they went through enough for like all that transition from another country to one country that is like totally different with people, culture, language, even religion. So maybe if we have like that exception of other people, maybe like it will be better if we like understood that these people suffered enough for us to judge them or make judgment based on like one group of people making bad things under the name of a religion or specific group of people. So if people were like more exception and like gave these people like chance and like understood the struggle they have in their life, it'll make it better.
Right, yeah, I think if we're going to talk like specifically about LC, where the area is like predominantly white, like one of the things they do in diversity training is try to fix not unconscious bias, but like the actions that result from that bias. So, like I think everyone would agree that like at some point, like they thought like a racist thought, or they, you know, like indulge themselves in some type of stereotype. They're like, oh, that's why But and especially that's prevalent where you grow up in an area where you might be the majority, and you see different minorities, and you might have that type of opinion about them where you don't grow up where everyone, I mean, you're not going to grow up in some place, it's not likely, where everyone is like represented equally, and you're going to see the best sides of everyone. So I think like for Elsie specifically, it has to focus on like suppressing like any proclivity you have to like not think racial thoughts, but act on them, and encourage others not to act on it as well. So that's like where the teachers come into play. They have to stop it when they see it, because the action is the worst part, because everyone thinks it at one point or another.
I think people need to realize that, like, just because it's never happened to you, like, none of this has happened to me, but doesn't mean it's not happening or it doesn't happen to other people, and people need to just be more, like, apathetic towards people.
I feel like with all the stereotypes, we grew up getting like conditioned subconsciously on all these ideas of all these different races, and sometimes without meaning to, like it's been mentioned before, like we will think something, but I think we need to like put our best effort to push those thoughts aside and actually get to know these people, because no one is just Mexican, or no one is just white, or no one is just black. There's more to people than just a race, like a skin color, a culture, traditions. There's an actual person there, and people need to be able to see that, and that's the only way we're going to be able to unite into a good, strong, unified society.
I think people just need to stop putting labels on everything and realizing that we're all equal. I grew up with a very diverse family. On my mom's side, I have Guatemalan cousins. On my dad's side, I have Puerto Rican, Mexican, African American cousins, and I just grew up thinking that all people are equal and that race and all that shouldn't matter. I don't think it doesn't define who you are as a person.
Your ideas and your worth define you as a person. What you want to be in, like your dreams, that what defines you. Not because of your hair color or of your skin color, not because you like this religion or you're coming from that part of a country. If you're a person with like big dreams and big thoughts, if you're a person that knows how to talk and communicate with other people, feel other people, and you're like just a good person in general, that's what makes us humans, and that's what should we all understand. And instead of me looking at that person as black, Mexican, or whatever, I should look at that person that they have dreams, they have thoughts. Maybe if I talk to them, I would like change my mind instead of just judge them based on the group of people that they belong to, like just to judge them based on the idea that they're cultural or like where they're coming from. So maybe if we like all realize that we all, as a human, we're a creature that thinks and like have thoughts, instead of looking at us that we look different or like we have different skin tone or like different languages, different accents or whatever.
I feel like when you don't know somebody, you automatically label them by race. And if you stop that, like that's where like most racism problems come in, is when you don't know somebody and you just say, oh, well, they're black, and that's where you start to get like a description of them. I think if you stop like labeling people by race, then you could possibly stop racism.
I think as long as people like don't believe like that stereotypes are actually true for like one person, for the whole representative group, that really like divides it and